Hello viewers, I am Bhikshamaya Chalakani, Assistant Professor of Physics from Government Degree College for Women, Nalgonda. In this lecture, I am going to explain the basics of thermodynamics. So already we have seen some basics in the last class, and it is the continuation to that. So non-flow process. What is a non-flow process and what is a flow process? We see that a process in which amount of mass is fixed within the system boundary when a system undergoes a change of state. So that is called non-flow process. That means there is no change in amount of mass during the change of the state of the system. So there is state change, but the amount of mass is not changing. Such process is called non-flow process. So example, a substance which is being heated in a closed cylinder undergoes a non-flow process. That means that is the closed cylinder. So non-permeable walls, cylinder with non-permeable walls, you can say. If we heat the system, so the properties of the system changes, the temperature changes, so one property is changed, and hence the state of the system changes, but the walls are rigid, that means non-permeable walls, and they do not allow to escape the matter from the walls or the system boundary. Okay, that is one example for non-flow process. Generally, all closed systems undergo non-flow process. Since the system is closed, there is no chance for flow of matter. That means the escaping of matter from the system to surrounding. Flow process, a process in which mass transfer occurs through the system boundary. So such process is called flow process. So there is mass transfer from system to surrounding through system boundary. So generally it occurs in open systems. So it is the most important property, that is thermodynamical equilibrium. So it is the most important thing we can say. So the thermodynamical equilibrium. So to express briefly, I am writing with TDE in order to save the space. When there is no change in any macroscopic property of the system, then the system is said to be in thermodynamic equilibrium. Okay, simple, it is a simple definition. So when there is no change in any one of the macroscopic property of the system, it may be one or more also. If there is no change at least in one macroscopic property of the system, then that system is said to be in the state of thermodynamical equilibrium. So for attaining the state of thermodynamical equilibrium, the following three types of equilibrium must be achieved. So the above condition is possible, the achievement of above condition is possible only when all the three equilibrium conditions are fulfilled. Okay, the three equilibriums, first one are one is thermal equilibrium, and another one is mechanical equilibrium, and the third one chemical equilibrium. There are no unbalanced forces within the system, or sorry, and we should say, and there are no unbalanced forces within the system and in between the system and surroundings. So if this condition is fulfilled, we say that the system is in mechanical equilibrium. Okay. So if there are no unbalanced forces within the system and between the system and surroundings, so the system in such condition is said to be in mechanical equilibrium. So in mechanical equilibrium, the pressure in the system is same at all points and it does not change with respect to time. So the pressure in the system at every point is same, and the same pressure, whatever the value we get for the pressure, the same value remains for long time as the time progress. Okay, that does not change with respect to time. That is, so in case of the systems in mechanical equilibrium, the pressure remains same as the time progress, and the pressure is same over the entire system. Chemical equilibrium. If there is no chemical reaction in the system or no transfer of matter from one part of the system to another part of the system, so generally we call this one as diffusion. So that means here there should not be no diffusion. So and from system to surroundings, that means no matter transfer from system to surrounding. So in these conditions, we say that the system is in chemical equilibrium. Chemical equilibrium. So again, I am repeating: if there is no chemical reaction in the system or no transfer of matter from one part of the system to another or from system to surroundings, then the system is said to be in chemical equilibrium. Chemical composition does not change with time. So the chemical composition does not change with time. So we say that the chemical potential is constant. Whenever the system is in chemical equilibrium, its chemical composition does not change with time, and we say that chemical potential is constant. If, if the that is about chemical equilibrium. If the temperature of the system does not change with time and has same value at all points of the system and with the surroundings, then the system is said to be in thermal equilibrium. That means the temperature of the system at all points of the system is same, and the temperature of the system is same with the temperature of surroundings also. We have to remember this. The temperature of the system and surroundings are same. So here we are taking the two bodies. If we take the concept of two bodies, one body is system and another body is surrounding, and there is no heat transfer between system and surrounding, and there is a thermodynamic property which is same between the system and surrounding. That thermodynamic property is temperature, and the condition is the two should be in thermal contact. They should be in contact with each other. Okay, the two objects will be at same temperature and only when they are in thermal contact. Okay, so in that case we say that the two objects are in thermal equilibrium. According this definition, we say if the system temperature is same as the temperature of surroundings as time progress. So as long as the time progress also, we should get the same temperature only. If that condition is achieved, we say that the system is in thermal equilibrium. Systems under thermal and mechanical equilibrium Generally, the systems are under thermal equilibrium and mechanical equilibrium, but not under chemical equilibrium, are called metastable equilibrium. We say that they are in metastable equilibrium condition. So if the condition for any one of the above three not satisfied. Okay. So if the conditions for any one of the above three equilibrium are not satisfied, then the system is said to be in non-equilibrium state. Or simply we can say, so there were three equilibrium states. So if any one equilibrium state is not maintained, is not satisfied, then we say that the system is in non-equilibrium state. So if a system is in non-equilibrium state, a variable or property varies from one part of the system to another. Okay, as long as the system is in non-equilibrium state, so let us say there is no thermal equilibrium. That means, so the temperature of system is one factor and the one value, and the temperature of the surrounding is another value. In that case, the heat transfer occurs. So at the same time, the temperature of the system, that means the temperature is not same at every point of the system. At every point of the system, it may differ from point to point. So in that case, the property varies from one part of the system to another part. The states of the system cannot be described by the thermodynamic properties, so which represent, in general, the thermodynamic properties represent the system as a whole. Whenever we are saying it is the property of the system, so it represents the whole system. So in that case, so in non-equilibrium state, a particular property is not same at every part of the system. It varies from one part to another part. If at all a particular property is varying from one part to another part, we cannot say it is a thermodynamic property. That means it should represent the whole system. So in that case, the states cannot be. The state of the system is nothing but, so the known values of properties, the known values of properties represented. So that is the state. Okay. So uh, totally we can, what we can say is, here given the thermodynamic properties of systems are the macroscopic coordinates defined for only in thermodynamical equilibrium states, and they are defined and they are significant only when the system is in thermodynamical equilibrium state. Okay, so these are the thermodynamic. So whatever we study the thermodynamical properties, so those properties so are defined in thermodynamical equilibrium states when the systems are in thermodynamical equilibrium states. So quasi-static process. Quasi-static process. So now we are saying, sorry. So that is, so if it is in thermodynamical equilibrium state, we say that the system is in stable state. Okay, stable state. So that is well defined. The stable state means the properties remain same as the time progress. Okay. So, but whenever the system changes, whenever a process occurs, that means change of state occurs. So definitely there is a state change from initial state to final state. So in that case, but the properties having this meaning only when the system is in thermodynamical equilibrium or in stable state. Therefore, so definitely there should be some change in the state, and to define the properties it should be stable state. So for that purpose, so all process in real practice are almost static process but not completely static. Okay, so therefore we say that these are quasi static process. Quasi means almost static process. So this process is a succession of equilibrium states. So it should be equilibrium. Therefore, we are calling it as a succession of equilibrium states. That process is called a quasi-static process. So succession of equilibrium states means there is only minor changes in the properties from one state to another state. From one state to another successive or adjacent state. So the features of quasi-static process. So such process are reversible in nature and infinitely slow process. Quasi-static process are very slow process and they are reversible. So another one, point functions or point variables. Okay. So the change, whenever the change of state occurs in a process. So in a process, the change of state occurs. Whenever the change of state is there, obviously there is a change in the value of thermodynamic property. Obviously there is a change in the value of thermodynamic property. So here, uh, whether it is point function or path function defined on the basis of the change of thermodynamic property, in which manner it is changing, whether it is dependent on path followed or independent of path followed. Based on that, these two functions are defined. So here we are seeing now the definition. The change in a thermodynamical property of a system in a change of state is independent of the path the system follows and depends only on the initial and final states of the system. So such properties are point variables. Such properties are point variables, or we can call it as point functions. Okay, that means during the change of state, the system follows one path. Okay, so if the change of the property is independent of that path, so those are point variables. They are independent of the path and it depends on only initial point and final point. The state can be represented on indicator diagram. The state of the system can be represented with one point. Therefore, if the change of the property of a system is dependent only on initial and final points of the system or the states of the system, those properties are called point variables since they are depending upon initial and final points only. So therefore they are called as point variables or point functions. So here the example is given. Volume is one point variable. Volume is the thermodynamic property of the system and it is a point variable. So we represent the point variables are point functions with exact differentiables, with exact differentials. So here we are seeing here. So here it is written and it is shown with the exact differential symbol dv. So the integration, it is the change of state of a system occurred from state 1 to state 2, state 1 to state 2, and there is change in volume, therefore it is the expression. So it is equal to V2 is the final state and V1 is the initial state. So it is V2 minus V1, it is exact differential. So therefore integration of gives V with lower limit 1 and upper limit 2, therefore we get V2 minus V1. So final volume minus initial volume. So this equation is valid in case of point variables or point functions only. So but there are some other physical properties or quantities. The change of those quantities, so dependent on path followed by the system and does not depend on initial and final states. Okay, such quantities are called path functions. Since they depend on path followed by the system, so therefore those quantities or properties called path variables. So here work is the that one we see in the next slide, the diagram. But here I am writing the work is the path variable or path function. So in case of path functions, so they are not exact differentials. They are not exact differentials. Therefore, it is shown with cross. The cross on D, differentiation symbol D. There is a cross on differentiation and we represent the path variables in this way or simply with delta, small delta. So delta symbol also. So we can write it as delta W, delta W. But it is not equal to the final and initial states. Okay, just like that. The final. It is not equal to W2 minus W1. Okay. Since it is not exact differential. So it is the equation. So there is another method to express the path functions or variables in this notation. Here we are seeing it should be 1 and 2 are suffixes 1 W2. So just like that. So here we are seeing this. So it is the indicator diagram, PV diagram. So on this, it is state 1 and it is state 2, or it is initial state and it is final state. So there are three paths we can reach the same states. So the system is from initial to final, it is achieved in three different paths. Okay. So A, B, and C. So it is the direction of the process occurred. The direction of the process occurred. The arrow indicates the direction of process occurred. So in PV diagram, so PV, uh, P into V gives us work. P into V gives us work. So therefore, the area under this curve, generally area under this curve means, so the product of these two quantities, sum. So delta P into delta V. So delta P into delta V gives some work. So totally the area under this curve gives us, that means uh, for the work done in process A, it is the area comes. Okay. What we have to fill, right? So it is the area generally. Okay. Okay. So this area, generally this area, whatever the area is here marked, this is the area gives us the work done in bringing a system from initial to final through the path A. So this area gives some work. So obviously the work done in bringing the system from initial to final through the path B. So in that case, so the area, the total area comes this, the total area. So it is shown with different color. So at this time we are getting somewhat bigger amount. So the work is higher in case of B path. Similarly, the work done in bringing the system from initial state to final state through the path C. In this case, we get some different area. So just like this, the total area, the total area. So in the now present case, it is even more work we get. Okay. So the work values are different in different paths. So therefore, the amount of work done, the amount of work done in bringing the system from initial to final, so through different paths is different. So the work values the different through the different paths. So that means the amount of work is dependent on path followed by the system. Therefore, the work is called a path function. The work is called a path function or a path variable also. So that one. So in that way, it is a inexact differential, and we represent it with delta d cut or with a small delta. So small delta, we write the small delta in this way, just like this. So or with this one also, delta W. So it is a symbol used for inexact differentials, and it is the expression used for, so it is V, let us say. So it is this type of uh, writing is used for exact differentials or point functions, and this notation is used for inexact differentials or path functions. So there is one point here. So cyclic process. In cyclic process, okay, in cyclic process, the initial and final states of the system are same. The initial and final states of the system are same, are coinciding. So in that case, every property of the every property of the system is same. Every property of the system is same. In that case, the property around a closed integral, the property, the integration of a property along a closed integral is zero. So the integration around a closed circle is called cyclic integral. The cyclic integral of a property is zero. So that means the integration of a property in a cyclic process, the property may be any property, is zero. So according that, integration of, so we write just like this. So integration around a closed path, dp is equal to 0. So dp is equal to 0, pressure is 0, and similarly the integration around a closed path and dv is also 0. dv is also 0. So the integration around a closed path, cyclic integral we say, and dt also 0. So dt also 0. So we can write in this way. The cyclic integral of a property is 0. Now, okay, right. So here, work and heat. So as I said before, the thermodynamic properties. So those are the characteristic features of the system. So if we see, the work and heat are not thermodynamic properties, but rather process quantities. Flows of energy across a boundary. Systems do not contain work. So generally, if it is a property, so those systems contain those properties. Okay. So in that case, the systems do not contain work, but can perform work. System can perform a work, and work can be performed on a system. So, but not the system contains work. So, in that sense, similarly, systems do not contain heat. So, they contain temperature. Where, whenever there is a temperature difference, they transfer heat. The systems transfer heat, but the systems do not contain heat. So, in that way, work and heat are not thermodynamic properties. So in this lecture, we have learned non-flow process and flow process. If the matter, so if the matter does not transfer through system boundary in a process, that process is called non-flow process. If there is a transfer of mass from system to surrounding, so such processes are called flow processes. And non-flow processes occurs in closed systems, and flow process occurs in open systems. In thermodynamical equilibrium, if no one property of no one macroscopic property of the system change, we say that the system is in thermodynamical equilibrium. If there is at least one property change, we say that the system is not in thermodynamical equilibrium state. So to attain the thermodynamical equilibrium state, so the three other equilibrium states, generally they are inbuilt. So these three equilibrium states should be fulfilled. So those are thermal equilibrium, mechanical equilibrium, and chemical equilibrium. In thermal equilibrium, temperature, one macroscopic property of the system, that is temperature is constant from system to surrounding or over any part of the system. Okay. In case of mechanical equilibrium, the pressure is constant over the entire system or at any point of the system, and the same pressure also exists with the surroundings also. And chemical equilibrium, so in chemical equilibrium, if there is no mass transfer from one part to another part, so that is called chemical equilibrium. So in chemical equilibrium, chemical potential is constant or chemical composition is constant from one point of the system to another point or from system to surrounding also. Okay. If these conditions are not satisfied, any one condition is not satisfied, we say that the system is in non-equilibrium state. Okay. Now So generally the thermodynamic properties are measured only when the systems are in thermodynamical equilibrium states. So, and we have seen the path functions and point functions now, just now. So this one. So in case of point functions, the changes in the properties during the state change do not depend on path followed. Such properties are called point functions or point variables. So if the changes of variables of quantities, variables or quantities depend on path followed by the systems. So those variables are called as path variables or path functions. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, like it. Please subscribe to the channel, The Physics Mentor, for more related videos. Thank you very much.